Yeah, got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
So Vivek Ramaswamy, he's going after the Jew.
Yes.
Ben Shapiro. But for y'all to understand why he's going after the Ben Shapiro, I'm not going to refer to him as a Jew. It's just being unprofessional.
It's condescending.
Yeah, it's being unprofessional.
You patronize. You give that Jew some respect.
Right. So the reason why Vivek is going after Ben is because
what did Ben do? You know what? He's attacking him because he's Jewish.
What?
He's probably attacking him. He's probably
attacking who?
The Jew. He's probably what's that? What they call people when you criticize them?
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Well, this is what's going on. This is why Vivek went after Ben. It's because Tucker Carlson went on Joe Rogan's podcast and he said some things about our history that was evil, that America did, right?
Right.
So now Ben's attacking him. So first I'm going to show you what Tucker said so you have context what's going on.
Yeah, let's see what Tucker had to say.
Well, you could say the same about the atomic bomb, right?
Yes, you could.
And you could say that we have to develop it like Oppenheimer felt before the Nazis
I
did.
love that. How'd that work? How'd that work?
Well,
I love, by the way, that people on my side, I'll just admit it, on the right, have spent the last 80 years defending dropping nuclear weapons on civilians. Like, are you joking?
right.
That's just like prima facie evil.
Yeah.
If you can't, if we hadn't done that, then this, that, the other thing, that was actually a great savings. Like, no, it's wrong to drop nuclear weapons on people. And if you find yourself arguing that it's a good thing to drop nuclear weapons on people, then you are evil. Like it's not a tough one, right? It's not a hard call for you. It's not a hard call for me. Right. So with that in mind, like, why would you want nuclear weapons? It's like just a mindless, childish sort of intellectual exercise to justify, like, oh no, it's really good because someone else will get it. How about no? How about like spending all of your effort to prevent this from happening? Would you kill baby Hitler, famously?
Right.
So I don't know why we're sitting back and allowing this to happen if we really believe it will extinguish the human race or enslave the human race. Like, how can that be good?
Yeah, like I could say that. Of course that was evil. We killed like over 300,000 people, like men, women, children.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Japan's army. It was just their, yeah.
Yeah, see.
I mean, we could at least like, hey, we made this nuclear bomb. It's working. Yeah. If we don't end this war now, I will blow everybody up. I mean,
why are you laughing at that? You're an evil person. You know that? You're laughing at that.
No, instead of just
you ought to
dropping
be
it.
ashamed of yourself.
No, what I'm saying is, before doing that,
threaten them.
I don't know.
Hey, if you don't stop, I'm gonna drop this damn nuclear bomb on you. Is that what you said?
That's what it sounds like if you're a damn black person was president.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't stop, nigga, I'm gonna drop this bomb on you.
Sound like something a black president would do.
Hey, nigga, you don't stop.
White people ain't gonna want. You know what? You done pissed me off. I'm just gonna drop this bomb on you. That's how white people do it.
Yeah, so I can, all jokes aside, that was evil. Yeah. I mean, if you believe that was okay, then it was okay for people.
What happened on 9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they felt they was in a war against America. That's why they did what they did. I mean, evil is evil. You should be able to call it out.
Yeah, you should call evil out when it's evil, no matter who's perpetuating it. Hey, what did Ben say?
Okay, let's get to what Ben said. The Jew.
Let's go to the Jew.
Is a theory that has now risen on the right that there is something deeply malign about the United States, something deeply wrong with the United States. This was made apparent over the weekend. Tucker Carlson was on Joe Rogan's show. Obviously, I'm very friendly with Joe. I think Joe does a great job during his interviews. And there was a clip from this interview that went particularly viral. This is a clip in which Tucker Carlson calls the United States evil for having dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, ending World War II, and then suggests that anyone who would justify that is also evil, which is a very traditionally left-wing perspective. It's not traditionally a particularly right-wing perspective because most people on the conservative side of the aisle tend to believe that America is a force for good in the world. And as we'll discuss, it turns out that dropping the atomic bomb on Japan was necessary for ending World War II and likely saved millions of lives, both American and Japanese. So when it comes to the
Save
moral
millions? How'd
calculus
you get that
of
number?
leaders killing people, that's the realm of normal politics. So, for example, he will downplay Vladimir Putin's evil in killing his political opponents and invading sovereign countries and killing civilian populations in those sovereign countries
Ukraine is not
by
a
basically saying
sovereign
all leaders kill people. But when it comes to ending World War II by dropping the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which did bring an end to the war, that is a moral stain, a moral blight that America simply has been corrupted by. So here he was talking about Vladimir Putin killing people. Again, this is just a couple of months ago.
You should challenge some ideas. For instance, you didn't talk about freedom of speech in Russia. You did not talk about Navalny, about assassinations, about the restrictions on opposition in the coming elections.
I didn't talk about the things that every other American media outlet talks about
Why?
exclusively.
Yes, this is
because
my
those are
question.
covered, and because I have spent my life talking to people who run countries in various countries and have concluded the following: that every leader kills people, including my leader. Every leader kills people. Some kill more than others. Leadership requires killing people, sorry. That's why I wouldn't want to be a leader.
Because that's very blasé about leaders killing people. But when it comes to ending World War II, then all of a sudden the United States bears the stain of a giant blood guilt that can never be alleviated. Or if it can be, he has not really spelled out. So this isn't actually America First, ironically. This is actually kind of fascinating. It's something else. So the America First movement, right, which is the isolationist movement that was very well trafficked and very popular in 1939, 1940, before it took a late turn into overt anti-Semitism. He's saying that America is and has historically been a nefarious force in foreign policy, which is actually a left-wing argument from the 1960s.
So America First is dropping atomic. I don't understand your argument.
Yeah, he's trying to say he sounds more left wing than conservative.
So only left wing call out evil?
Well, I tell you like this. You know, back in the day, liberals was hippies, very anti-war.
Right.
Nowadays, conservatives are more anti-war. I
Yeah.
mean, now people on the left wants to go to war more than the right. Like everything that's happening in Ukraine, Republicans are totally against sending money, providing any type of aid towards Israel or Ukraine. I mean, not all conservative and Republicans feel that way, but a majority of them is starting to swing to be anti-war.
Yeah, I mean, Ben's acting like, okay, USA is like this great doer of good.
Yeah.
You know when Obama was in office?
Oh, man.
Because African countries was against this LGBTQ movement, marriage and all this stuff.
Started
You know what
sanctions.
Obama did? He sanctions those countries.
Yeah.
Tried to starve those countries in submission. Starve men, women, and children and kids because they didn't want to go with this LGBTQ movement.
Right.
That's evil.
He actually won a Nobel Peace Prize. He dropped so many bombs on Syria.
Well, I don't. Maybe they deserved it. I don't know. I'm ignorant when it comes to Syria.
Well, I don't really do geopolitics, but
Yeah, I wasn't into politics then. Yeah. I do know one thing: Obama sucked. He was black and he sucked. I know that.
yeah, he's a bad representation of what a black president should be.
No, but seriously,
Well, you know what? I take that back.
what you say?
I mean, what do you expect a black president to do?
You lucky you got what you got. At least he had a white.
Could have been a lot worse.
Thank God he had a white grandma. You had a full-blown Negro now.
Oh man, World War III.
Hey, I was going to say something before we go to the next video.
Yeah.
Damn, what was I going to say? Don't rush me.
Here we go. Come on, Joe.
Man, I hate it. I hate when I do this.
You got.
Shut up! Let me think. What was I going to say? No, okay. Another that we're, well, no, I'm not trying to make us out to be evil, but like we used to buy oil and gas from Russia, right? Then all of a sudden, oh, Russia's evil. We can't buy that gas and oil anymore. And then we blew up that damn pipeline.
We didn't do that. That's what the United States government. That's a conspiracy theory. You saying we didn't bomb that
You know how
shit.
many countries depended on that oil for heating and?
Hey, Keith, take that back. We didn't bomb that.
Oh, that's right. It was
Putin blew up that shit.
Oh, he did it.
Yeah, he did it. They don't. Yeah, that's misinformation. You said the United States
blew up the.
Nah, we didn't do that. They said Putin did that. You can trust the media. They had never lied to us.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to go to Vivek. He responds.
I find it fascinating that many conservatives are now lambasting Tucker Carlson for asking certain hard questions about narratives we've been fed by the government. Do I agree with Tucker on all of his views? Of course not. I don't agree with anybody on 100% of their views. That would be a weird thing to do. But I also think it's a weird thing to do to lambast somebody for questioning certain narratives when, in fact, that's what it means to be a skeptical citizen of a truly democratic nation. I'll tell you where it comes from, though. I'm not just going to tar somebody on their side. Let's get to the heart of what's going on there. I think we as conservatives have appropriately been fed up by the self-loathing left that has repeatedly, for 160 years and for the last 6 years incessantly, questioned the founding of our country, obsessing over systemic racism and white rage and the original sin of slavery at our founding. And at a certain point, all of us, most conservatives I know, myself included, Tucker included, others, are saying enough with it already. Let's move forward as one country because we've beaten that dead horse to death. There's nothing more to say. Now, back in 1960, when you didn't have necessarily equal rights enjoyed across this country, that was still a relevant conversation to have, to say, well, slavery existed all the way through the Civil War. The Reconstruction era didn't quite put an end to those inequities. How are we going to deal with it in the Civil Rights Revolution? That was a reasonable discussion to have. But now we're 60 plus years after that, and at a certain point, it's time to move on. And if you're consistently still obsessing over narratives dating back over 250 years, then yes, that means you probably do in some measure hate this country. Fine. But that's different from saying that there are certain areas where we deserve to question our own history that haven't been questioned. And I think that that's the difference we need to draw. The distinction we need to draw is one thing to beat a dead horse and hate ourselves for the sake of hating ourselves. That's what the modern left does. But that's not what Tucker's doing. To the contrary, he's turning over rocks that haven't really been turned over, rolling over logs that deserve to be rolled over and seeing what crawls out. Sometimes maybe there's nothing there. Is he going to have a 100% hit rate? Of course not. But I don't think it's the right thing to do, especially as conservatives who are supposed to be skeptical of the government, to criticize somebody for asking questions, and not just in an armchair way, but in a rigorous way, asking the kinds of questions that at least the American people deserve to have answers to and closure on. I think that's a good thing. And whether you're liberal or conservative, I think you actually do love this country if you're willing to ask those hard questions. And that's why I think it's a mistake, an unintentional mistake that many conservatives make when they try to tell people to shut up, sit down, and do as they're told. That's what the modern progressive left does. Let's not make the same mistake in return.
Well, he's got a good point. Ben actually voted for Hillary.
He did.
He did. First time around against Trump, he voted for Hillary.
What conservative would vote for Hillary?
Ben Shapiro conservative. He's questioning whether Tucker's American first when he's Israel first. Hey, if America's on the line or Israel's on the line, who you think Ben Shapiro's going with?
Yeah.
That's right. He's a Jew.
Who do he hold allegiance to?
It's
Not
gonna
the
be
United
Israel.
States of America.
But he's going
He
to.
holds allegiance to Israel, formerly known as Palestine.
Yeah, but he's going to.
Hey, but Vivek made some very valid arguments and statements. He came from he had a very valid perspective.
He's objective.
He's objective. He's using this. He said that Jew, Ben Shapiro, is using the same tactics as the left.
Yeah.
He voted for Hillary?
I'm positive.
He voted for Hillary is
How do you vote for
think
Hillary?
Ben is a damn rhino. How could you vote for Hillary and use the same tactics that are left? You even got rid of one of your employees
Candace.
for sharing her criticisms of Israel.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me you're not really conservative. Maybe we got to put an asterisk.
No,
by his name.
he's conservative.
No,
But
he's a Jew conservative. It's totally different.
yeah, that's what I'm
He's
saying.
just not conservative.
Yeah,
He's a Jew conservative. He's Israel first, not America first.
Yeah, I don't know about
And it's playing, what's that term they use? Monday morning quarterback. It's easy to do these things after the fact.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you should not, you're pretty much telling Tucker to shut up and do his job and stick to traditional what conservatives should be asking. No, he's a journalist. He's a real journalist. He should be asking the tough questions that the left, the right, the middle, and everybody wants to hear.
I think Tucker's in
Yeah.
he seeks the truth.
Yeah.
Whether it looks good on the right or looks bad on the right. Whether it looks good on the left or bad on the left. He's just after the truth. He's impartial. Where that's how journalists are supposed to be.
Yeah, and he can't solve every problem in America one interview at a time. He can only cover certain issues every interview at a time. You can't. I mean, how long do you expect the interview to be? He's got to cover everything. He's got to ask all the questions you want. He already has an agenda when he gets there. He's already has something predetermined what he's going to ask. He can't ask every question on the books.
Oh, you talking about going on?
Yeah, whenever he's on Joe Rogan or whenever he was interviewing Putin.
But this is easy. What happened in Japan, that was evil, right?
Yeah. What's happening to the young children over in Israel, their own people? I mean, what happened to the Jews, that was horrible too.
1,500, was it 1,500 people that day?
Yeah.
Horrible.
1,500.
That was
Jewish.
evil.
Yeah, that was evil. But you got to call it the evil that's happened to the other.
Yeah, just call out the evil.
Yeah, just
so
call out
America can do no evil.
Yeah.
Really?
America's the most evil, most corrupt country.
Hey, man,
they
think we
impeached
had
our president twice. Yeah.
for not doing anything. They impeached him because they had the votes to do it.
Tucker got fired for doing his job, right? I mean, I can go on and on and on.
You fired a black woman because she's black? It's just,
come on now, we do the same tactics as the left. We just represent everything.
No, I was just joking though. Man, Ben Shapiro, what happened to you, man?
Yeah, man.
You're one of the reasons why I became conservative.
Yeah, I feel like going back. Man.
What? What you finna say?
Huh?
What you finna say?
I didn't
You
say
sound like
anything.
you was gonna say something crazy.
I didn't say
What you
anything.
finna say?
No, I'm still conservative. No, ain't no
Sound like you was gonna say something real stupid.
No.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that I'm very disappointed in you, B.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very disappointed in you.
You better than that. You're Jewish. Show's over, Ben.